Report. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Robo. And I'm happy. Whoa. Calm down. No. Oh, there's a Backyardigans summer remix. Hold on. Nah, I'm good. Oh, shit. What's going on? The Hack 1984. Will I be talking about Sinners today? We will be talking about it in depth on Thursday for Nerds of Culture. That's gonna be the main meat and potatoes of the main course, if you will, of Thursday. I will talk about it a little bit here, though. And yeah, why not? Elite X1, so is the show just on Tuesdays now? See, I can't say that because if I said the show's on Tuesday, then the show's going to be on Wednesdays a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. It's the preparation leading up to it, you know? And then I was like, I'm not ready. I'll do it tomorrow. Sig Fang, Architect of Sin. Looks like them boycotts kicked Tesla's teeth in. Wait a minute. Nah, that can't be right. See, I heard boycotts don't work. That's what I heard. Somebody said boycotts don't do shit. They got Elon Musk out there crying. Michael DeFonte. Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well, and if not, I hope things are getting better for you. The True Hero was going on, and of course the Elite X1's in the house. Wow. Okay, let me just kick off by saying this. Okay, first of all, definitely are going to talk in depth about Sinners on Thursday. So, we won't do spoilers. If you guys haven't seen Sinners yet, you got till Thursday, okay? You got till Thursday. What a phenomenal movie. What a phenomenal fucking movie. John that's funny, Subyo. As soon as you said Subyo, I was reading your message literally as you said so. He said, decided to be helpful instead of petty since there was no stream last night. It felt weird. That's what's up. Your third watch in 2 days. Man, let me tell you something. If I had money, I wouldn't have money. Does that make sense? If I had money, I wouldn't have money because, like, I would go and fly to somewhere that's showing the 70 millimeter. So there's like, you know, I thought it was Abe. I guess it's like Tan or whatever. Different theaters showing it in 70 millimeter. And like, God, man, I want to see that shit so bad. But oh well. Yeah, my wife is pissed even though she watched it with me. Wait, pissed about what? Oh, about not having seeing it on 70 millimeter? Not being able to? Third watch. Yeah, I gotta see it again. I gotta see it again before Thursday. I'm gonna be real with y'all, right? Because I don't want to, you know me. I only know how to be sincere. Oh, the money. Yeah. Yeah. Look here. Look. They got my money. Actually, they got a little bit more than okay. So this is all on me, but it still all goes to the box office numbers, okay? And you gotta wonder how many people are like me. Me, my son, my wife, and my wife's friend. We all go to the movies, and I said, right? I said we got it. So me and Maneater, we'll pick it up. You know, so I pay for my son's tickets and pay for her friend's ticket. And she said, Saturday. Okay, we'll go out for Saturday. Saturday, we're gonna go out. Boom. What time do you want? At 6:30 p.m. Got it. Oh, there's decent seats here. Yada yada yada. So Saturday comes around, and I go, okay, let me get everything situated. Let me take a screenshot of my confirmation number that I can go in. I can't find it anywhere. Like, where's I open up the app. Where's the confirmation number? Past movies. Why is Sinners in past movies? I bought tickets for Friday. So then I bought 4 more tickets for Saturday, acting like that didn't hurt. So yeah. So I mean, I saw it once, but I've bought 8 tickets for that movie, okay? Yeah. I saw it one time, but I bought 8 tickets. That's how you know I'm a real fan. See, y'all had to give money. It was a transaction. Mine was charity. Okay, how many of y'all bought tickets and didn't even see that? Just take my money. You can have it. You can have it. Thanks for supporting the culture. See, that's how you know that I'm about the black and brown solidarity. I will be here. I'll buy 8 tickets for you. Ain't nothing for me. I'll eat top ramen. I'll eat top ramen for 2-3 months. No big deal. No big deal. Thanks for supporting by accident. Shh. It's not the point. You're missing the point here. But goddamn. Oh, so what I said I was going to be honest about. Dope ass movie. Right? Was able to see like a lot of the allegories. You heard me say this again on Thursday, right? But I saw a lot of the allegories. I'm not going to get into that because we'll talk about that on Nerds of Culture. But when that movie ended, I want you to hear me. When that movie ended, I said, "That's pretty dope. That was a fucking dope ass movie." I mean, I think people kind of get in a little wild with movie of the year, best movie they ever seen, yada yada. And I'm like, I wouldn't call it like fucking. I'm like, but that was really awesome. And as I'm driving home, I'm like, yeah, that's why dude had to be Irish. Oh yeah. Oh girl, okay, the Asians and it just kept clicking, and then I saw other people's takes, and bro, it was like this expansion, and I'm like when the credits hit, I'm like, man, that was good. And then 24 hours later, I'm like, that was amazing. That shit blew my mind. It was a slow burn in my brain. But goddamn, what a fucking excellent movie. What a fucking excellent movie. It was better on the drive back for real, thinking about the movie. The second watch was even better. See, that's why I love seeing some Southern Asians again. Yeah. See, that's what's up. You know what? I've been noticing that, Asia's been getting some love lately. I notice. I feel when you start talking about American history, there is definitely a lot of Asian erasure there. And obviously it's gonna have to do with like bigotry or whatever, but also, just the representation from the people themselves. You know what I mean? Like when Asian people get to make a movie, their story is not, from what they've been taught, probably isn't about the South, their story, so their story talks about, immigration or where where their grandparents are from or what their life was like, when their mom, came here or some shit like that, right? But there is a huge fucking story to be told with regard to all the Asians that came here from the, during the time of the railroad, right? Like, what were they doing from, pre-Civil War? What were they doing in Reconstruction? What were they doing in how did Jim Crow era, right? Affect it. It's things to think about. And I noticed that there was an account that I found. Asian. I don't mean like half Asian. I don't mean like oh, the Puerto Rican and Asian or some shit. I'm talking about Asian. I think the younger dude. I think her son might be half Asian. Maybe maybe the dad is like Puerto Rican or something. But the mom was straight Asian. and her Spanish flawless because it's her like second language. She's lived in Puerto Rico for the past 40 years or whatever. And I think it's interesting. I think it's a part of our American exceptionalism. I think it's a part of like that. Well, American exceptionalism, but also probably just that way that we like to think about shit that we know. Like we live in this bubble, and it's like, hey, did you know Asians migrated to other places too? You know, the way we act whenever we hear an Asian with an Australian accent. Did you hear that? It's an Asian dude with an Australian accent, you know? But nobody ever says that with an Asian with an American accent, you know? So it's just interesting. It's interesting stuff that I think about. The South was a melting pot, maybe not intentionally, but because of the way shit was, for sure. It's crazy because I was telling my daughter about how Asians were treated bad like our people, but they were pitted against us. They were right there with us, with the railroads. Sure shit was pitted against y'all. Just like some of the people who became vampires. But we'll talk about it on Thursday. Then when she seen them in the movie, and she was like, "What? They don't teach this. They don't teach us this. Yep, this is yeah." I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, when it comes to like American history and Asians, I always kind of deflect to like, "Oh yeah, Chinese built the railroads." I was like, "Bro, you know, there's more. It's probably not probably. There's definitely more Asian history in our American history outside of the railroads." I couldn't tell you what it is. I couldn't tell you. T Streets. Do people know that Brazil has like the third largest Japanese population? Yeah, I knew that. If you had asked me like 2 or 3 seconds ago who the third largest Japanese population was, I would have said Brazil. If you had asked me 7 or 8 seconds ago, I would have known though. But I knew that just now. Howdy Robo, Left Face, CE Rouse. What was going on? And the socialists. Oh, the socialists. The socialists. Yeah. It has to like be for our people, you know what I mean? Like Earth's mightiest subscribers. What's up, you beautiful bastards? Like, it's what y'all are you guys the socialists? Nah, I don't know about that. That doesn't work. Good though. I like to play on words. Keep it coming. Keep them coming. I'm still my heart, you know, I just might say fuck it. Really has to be y'all. Whatever sticks with y'all, but I'm liking leftovers. There also was and don't forget the military theme of this too. Cause it's like, I don't know if y'all, I'm sure everybody's caught it, but just in case you don't know about my history, that might be why you wouldn't have caught it. But if you don't know about my history, I used to be in the military. And so Left Face, you know, it's a movement, it's a facing movement, right? It's a call for drill and ceremony. So maybe we could think about something like that. The brigade. You guys can be the brigade. Or some shit. Let's see. Part of the reason why I love the show Warrior, it's about the 1800s Chinese experience.
Fighter jets.
You can't see it. You can't see it.
Even if it's right next to it, it can't see.
You can't see. He's talking about the F-35 right there, in case y'all didn't know. He literally was just telling the news about how if it's right next to you, you can't see an F-35, which is not how the stealth works. That's one of my favorite quotes. Maneater, love of my life. Thank you for the resub. And hello. I hope you had a great shower, or maybe you're still in it. I don't know. Rez, it's interesting seeing East Asian history in the U.S. From where I'm from, there's a strong history of South Asians, so much unchecked and hidden history. And you know what's crazy about that? That's where stories come from. That's where stories come from. Can you imagine?
35.
Yeah.
Fighter jets.
You can't see it. You can't see it.
Even if it's right next to it, it can't see.
Hacked 1984 coming in with the Prime sub. Giving me some Bezos bucks. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. There's so much story to be told. So many movies to be made. So many books to be made. So many comics to be made. Like, there's just this untapped just sea of stories out there. And yeah, Rez, my person. I don't know what your pronouns are. You got to see that like now. Like now. I'm at the point, nah, you can't. I was gonna say just bootleg it and then send them some money. No, don't do that because you gotta get it everything. If you can see it in theaters, if that is a possibility for you, right? Because I know we're all in different places and stuff, but if you can see the theaters, you got to, because that sound is part of it. The singing in the background, the whispers of the spirits. Hey, chat, get ready for a short. Yeah, this is gonna be a short stream. I gotta get out of here soon. So, like, I don't know, like 2.5, 3 hours. Oh shit. I really didn't pick a lot of stuff to talk about today because I'm trying to, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of fucking saying what I'm trying to be like, and then I don't do it. So don't worry about it. You know, maybe it'll be 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. You know, block it off. Tell the family, look, I might be, you know, 2 hours, 3 hours. You don't know with this guy, but I'm just unavailable. No, I can and I will. Thanks for yeah. Look, let me tell y'all something. As I've grown to the left, right, and came out of a place that y'all already know by now where I come from. There's a lot of things that I've learned to, like, not take for granted. Things that I would say, like you know, and then they'd be like, you know, not every, like for example, I'd be like, shit, I wouldn't live in the South. I'd fucking move. Fuck that, you know, or some shit like that. You know, it'd be some dumbass shit. Like, why would you want to live there? Get the fuck out of there. Move somewhere else. And then somebody's like, you know, there's like people in abject poverty who couldn't leave if they wanted to, right? Or people with like severe disabilities that make it to where they're not mobile, or they're tied to treatment or something like, and I'm like, I didn't mean like all that, you know, obviously not them. I'm not talking to them. So now I feel bad. I'm like, hey, look, what are you doing, man? Get to a theater. I'm like, I'm actually homeless. I'm watching on my phone. It's that I got 12 years ago. I'm at a public bathroom charging it so I can watch your show. But thanks for giving me shit for not watching the movie yet. I can't even joke that you're rushing the rivals anymore. You're gonna leave your old family. Yeah, I was making fun because you said Maneater fresh out the shower. Oh, okay. Yeah. I gotcha. I thought it was one of, you know, I always been saying like, man, it's gonna be a short one today. It's never a short one. I thought that's what you were doing. No. I went to Mississippi State University. It was the biggest culture shock of my life. I went to, from where though? From where to where? So where were you from before you went to Mississippi State? That it was such a big culture shock. So if you, I think between Discord and Hacked 1984 cheered 500 biddy, corgi biddies, which honestly, the best biddies. I appreciate you. But speaking of support, that's where I'm going to, right? So if y'all were thinking about supporting right now, actually, this is a little bit more than $5, but if you follow me on Threads or you're in my Discord, most of y'all know by now, but the Left Face apparel has been launched. So I have like kind of two ways to get there. I was thinking of doing a soft launch and then only making it like a link in bio thing. So leftface.tv/apparel. Check this shit out. Moving from GA to Seattle was a culture shock. Oh, from Seattle. Yeah, I bet. I bet. You think you're not my wife? Man, that must have been crazy. That's how you know. By the way, that's how you know when I'm not listening. Like I didn't really read what I read. I'm just like I'm like on auto mode. Hell, moving from GA to Seattle is a culture shock. Yup. Tell me about it. Right, guys? I'm like, oh, that's my wife. Yeah. Check this shit out. FD Sig adjusting. Ooh, yeah, I did watch that movie. I did watch this video, by the way. And believe it or not, no notes. No, I was just kidding. I did read. I was just reading too fast is what I meant. I did read it, though. a small town in Southwest Mississippi named Centerville or Centuryville, mostly white and black racial mix-up. A friend that made, and I totally probably all mixed up too. No segregation. There were like no black neighborhoods or white neighborhoods, right? Because I mean, Jim Crow was a long ass time ago. It was like way back in the history. So this town you're talking about had no segregation. I bet. A friend I made in college is from Mound Bayou. Yeah, Shannon Sharp. So check this bad boy out. Left Face Apparel, right? Gonna put the good shit up top. Look at that shirt. What does that say? Homegrown, abolish ICE. Some high schools still have segregated proms. I fucking hate this country, dude. I hate it. I hate it here so much. Look at these shirts, though. Hold on. Segregation can wait. Okay? Look. Segregation is not as important as things. Let me stop. That's like, all right, too far. Reel it in, Robo. Check out these. Look at that. This shirt right here. I thought about that last night in the room. I was talking to a Maneater, and I know. I'm like, oh, it's just you. What's up, Maneater? It's a bad joke, wasn't it? And then you leave. I'm like, oh. I thought about this in the room last night. And I have a shirt that has like vote all the way down. I've seen some other, that kind of deal. I'm like, what if I put all the places like with the, a lot of the places that that are being exploited as we speak. Shit, I should put Cuba on there. But I'm talking about the global South. So the gradient, that's it right there, land back. That's what land back is. Indigenous people's lands. That's right. We got land back on there. Boop. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan. That's not, I don't know. I like that shirt, so I gotta buy that one. Homegrown in black. Got a beanie on here. Solidarity. And have a cap with resist on it. Obviously, it's a mock-up on these things. This one and this one is embroidered. These are going to be embroidered. So, yeah, if you can check all that stuff out, and then obviously all the links down at the bottom. But, I did also, I still got to update it and shit. I went ahead and just launched the whole store itself. Bro, Michael DeFonte, I thought for sure that I can go up to 3. You still would have been too husky for my original plan if you're talking about 2 sizes. Oh, 1 more size. See, I would have had you. Not 2 sizes, 1 more size. I would have had you. I thought all I had to do was just click. There's already a St. Luigi shirt, so I'm not trying to. If I do a St. Luigi shirt, it's got to be like. I gotta be original with it, not that one, because that one I bought. I'm not just gonna redo it. I'm sure that person didn't trademark. It's just one of those print to order. But I thought all I had to do was put a triple XL, and I'm like, oh, let me add a size thing here. Click triple XL, and then it was asking for the SKU, and I was like, the SKU number for this item number. I'm like, oh, so let me go to the supply. Yeah, let me just go to the supplier real quick. I'm like, all right, let me look up their 3XL. I'm like, nah, homie. We didn't include it because we don't have it. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. So I had to go work out with my son today because I'm like, damn. Because I'm like this is a double XL. You know what I'm saying? And look, I mean, it's kind of, it's not too tight. It's like just right. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. This is my double XL, and if I gain 3 more pounds, I'm gonna have my belly button showing at the bottom of the shirt. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay. All right, there's my motivation. I can't grow out of the shirts I'm selling, you know what I'm saying? So, if you're bigger than a double XL, don't you worry, because the supplier I have right now, I picked them because they were, environmentally conscious, sustainably, blah, 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 vegan, yada, 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 right? So that shit was important to me. That's why a lot of these shirts are, they're a little pricey. But I will tell you all something, to pat myself on my back. So these prices right here, if you went to somebody else's storefront and they use the same supplier as me, this shirt right here would be like $40-something. Because the default, when I was looking at like putting all the shirts on, shit, man, I'm gonna put you onto something. Listen, I'm gonna put you all onto something because I learned some shit about drop shipping when I had this idea. I wanted to make a store. I got it in my head. I said, I'm gonna do this. Listen to me. Did you know that if you want to start a store like this and you find a drop shipping supplier or a print on demand supplier, you gotta pay for the products yourself ahead of time? Now, some of y'all might be like, yeah, no shit. How else did you think it was? I don't know. I don't know what I thought I was thinking. I have no idea. I thought maybe like yeah, I click here, click there. You buy it from me, but you're buying it from me, you know? And then, you know, the person who's like secretly my supplier will send that shit out to you. Nope. The supplier's like, no, they're literally buying it from you. You buy that shit from us. So if you guys return it or something, I'm just gonna be here with this shirt in my hands. I'm like, all right, I guess I got this shirt that I bought to sell. So there's that. So anyways, going back to what I was saying, the standard is to have a 50 to 55% profit. So those shirts that come in supplied, like, you know, like $19 baseline. Like my supplier is called like Applique or something like that, and I use their environmentally conscious line, and the shirt baseline with nothing on it is $19. So then I saw it was like $45. I'm like, God, nobody's gonna buy a damn shirt for $45. Get the fuck out of here! Like I wouldn't. You know what I mean? If somebody put out a shirt like, hey, I made some shirts, and they're like, here's $50 with shipping, I'm like, man, good luck with those shirts, homie. You know what I mean? And so what I did was I played with the numbers and I brought it down to like 20. And the reason it couldn't be like, shit. Obviously, is to put a little pocket change, right? But the thing is to think about it is to also, I have to cover enough costs. There has to be a cushion there so that it's not at, I could do it at cost, but like, let's say somebody clicks express shipping or whatever and it costs more. Now, it goes further into it. And now like I get a bill at the end. Hey, by the way, what you were charging people wasn't enough. And this is how many, and now you're in the hole this much money. I'm like, oh, I see. So anyways, I set it to just like standard like 20 to 22% profit. So instead of selling a shirt at like $40 like everybody else would for that kind of shirt anyway, I just, it's 19 and then it's like $25 or $26, what it is, just to put that 20% buffer on top. And then maybe I can buy like Maneater, some like not McDonald's. We don't need McDonald's anymore, but she does like Burger King. Maybe a little pho. She likes pho, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But anyways, let's get back into it. Let's get into it. That is the shop. That is the shop. Leftface.tv or leftface.tv/apparel. Check it out. That is another way y'all could support the homie. I don't know if y'all heard, but the Pope is dead. Let's do this. Is anybody here Catholic? So I'm not. I think Ernie said he was raised Catholic. Are you like a practicing Catholic? Or like you're like, I was raised Catholic, you know what I mean? Yeah, so the Pope's dead. J.D. Vance visited him, and then he died. But here's what's funny. The Pope called the Christian church that was in Gaza, the diocese there, every single day, since the assault on Gaza, since the genocide. I was baptized Catholic. So, I mean, I'm devastated, but still believe. You're devastated? Damn. Sorry, babe. There's. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. All right, check this out. I don't know if you can tell, but I got a little nervous there for a second. Because I'm like,
They're eating the dogs. They're eating
yeah.
the dogs.
Mad Chocolate Gaming subscribing over on the YouTube side. Thank you so much. So check this out. My immediate reaction, my immediate response was was me wanting to yeah, okay, you know, like because I knew you were joking. But then there was a part of me, since you didn't put like a LOL or something, like, oh, what if she what if she wanted to bullshit? And I'm over here like outing her, like, you know, I was like, oh fuck, just wait, I don't know if she's being serious or not. I was about to go, yeah, Robo. A lot of religious people respect the Pope even if they aren't Catholic. Oh, yeah, like me, duh. I respect the Pope. You don't respect the Pope? JD asked the Pope about his couch addiction. The little guy, he said, what? He's like, man, I thought I've heard everything. I sit here day in and day out protecting. You don't even want to know how many priests from convictions and you know, moving them around dioceses, you know, trying to like make sure that they don't get in trouble for their problem. And that was too far. I'm going to go in my bed and lie down and die now. After I joined the military and moved down to VA, I realized New York City is like the only place I have been stateside that is super Catholic. Boston, super Catholic. Giant churches there. There's a giant Catholic church here in Savannah, but I wouldn't say Savannah's super Catholic, but there is a pretty ginormous church here. Like, you would think that there was like nobody homeless or, you know, needing anything for the amount of money that had to have gone into that church. Let's see what CNN has to say about it. Oh, Al Jazeera, sorry.
All right, we're going to bring you some breaking news just coming into us now here in Al Jazeera that Pope Francis, the first Latin American leader of the Roman Catholic Church, has died. Just to repeat that, an announcement being made by the Vatican in a video statement saying Pope Francis, who we know has been suffering health challenges, has now passed away. It ends an often turbulent reign that has reigned in the Vatican as he sought to overhaul the institution. Now, we do know that the Pope had appeared briefly to give traditional Easter blessing on Sunday. He appeared from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica in front of crowds there. And that appearance followed a brief meeting with the US Vice President J.D. Vance. And those appearances were his highest profile appearances since he was discharged from hospital. Doctors were telling him he needed to rest, but he did make those brief appearances, raising perhaps hopes that he was on the mend. But now the news coming from the Vatican, the leader of the Roman Catholic Pope, the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Francis, has died at 88 years old. Well, he was born in Argentina, the first Latin American to take the post, as I mentioned. Pope Francis, broadly popular, appealing to both conservative.
Now, don't get it fucked up now. He's the first Latin American, but he was still white. That dude white as fuck.
With his orthodox
yeah,
views
Pope
on
Gotti seemed to
doctrine,
actually practice what he preached.
Reformers with his liberal views on social justice. Sonia Gallego takes a look back at his papacy.
As soon as he stepped out onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Francis made history. He was the first Latin American pope, the first non-European for more than 1,000 years, and his simple words and humble manner immediately won over the crowds.
Buonasera.
As Cardinal Bergoglio, the Archbishop of Buenos Aires, he had witnessed firsthand the hardships faced by the poor, and from the start, the new pope showed the world the humble side of the papacy. He chose Francis as his papal name, inspired by St. Francis of Assisi, the son of a wealthy merchant who chose instead to live a life of poverty. Pope Francis led by example and made clear that he expected the same of his clergy.
Hombres que amen la pobreza.
Men of poverty, exterior poverty, simplicity and austerity of life. Men who do not think and behave like princes.
Fighter jets.
Men who are not ambitious.
I think he was a pope of the
Even if it's right next to it, it can't see.
Sup everyone? Waving hand dark skin tone, waving hand dark skin tone.
I love that. I need more people to put in emojis like that. That's waving hand dark skin tone. Waving hand dark skin tone. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate you. Ooh, with the prime Bezos bucks. Always love it. Always love it.
developing world. He was a pope of the poor. He was a pope who spoke to and from the margins of society, and who was very conscious of the gaps which exist in society and the way that people erect barriers between themselves. And I think he, more than any pope I can think of in modern times, was able to speak over those barriers. I just have an image of him hugging people.
His warmth and common touch were particularly obvious during his weekly audiences, when thousands gathered to meet him in St. Peter's Square. But, true to his word, he took his message out of the Vatican and to the margins of the church. He sought out the weakest and didn't shy away from controversy. From the favelas in Brazil to the immigrants in Lampedusa.
The exclusion of migrants is scandalous. Indeed, it's criminal.
And the separation wall in the occupied West Bank. His popularity extended well beyond the Catholic world. He graced the cover of Rolling Stone and was chosen as Time magazine's Man of the Year. But popularity alone wouldn't be enough to heal a church reeling from allegations of internal corruption and the child sex abuse scandal. The Vatican has been castigated twice by the United Nations for failing to adequately punish abusive priests. The Pope held private meetings with abuse victims and in the second year of his papacy set up a committee to oversee how parishes dealt with cases of abuse. Members of the committee included a cardinal as well as an abuse victim, but some survivors groups were disappointed, describing it as toothless. Francis' handling of internal corruption within the Vatican was perhaps more decisive. The so-called Vatican Bank had been a hotbed of scandal for years. Under Pope Francis, hundreds of accounts were closed, some were investigated, and strict anti-money laundering regulations were implemented. Francis was the only pope in living memory to have had the company of a pope emeritus, and although they shared a conservative view when it came to religious doctrine, Pope Francis's language and style were more inclusive to those who might have previously felt shut out by the church, such as divorcees and homosexuals. The Catholic world and beyond will mourn the passing of Pope Francis and reflect on the reforms he might have made if only he'd had more time.
I wonder what the new guy's gonna come in and do. Let's not overspeak, or let's not oversell what's going on here. Was he better? Yeah, but the bar was ironically in hell. Pope Francis still, did not change anything about homosexuality being a sin, right? And although he didn't say it, right, because he was, he didn't say it, so that's good. But the implication is, if you're going to say it's still a sin, even though that they should be treated with love and compassion and respected, and who am I to judge, and but if you still understand, if you still teach that homosexuality is a sin and you cannot enter heaven with sin on you, then you go to hell. And so the Catholic Church's doctrine, Pope Francis or not, is that if you are gay, you're going to hell. Now, what a lot of people do, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second, but what a lot of churches do now, right, to kind of avoid having to say anything about it, is that that's not for me to say. Like, they'll say that, yes, being homosexual acts are a sin, but whether or not that person goes to hell is, I just can't say. that's up to God. I don't know what happens, at the moment of death. I don't know. So they kind of like wash their hands of it, which I think is just coward behavior. If you're not gonna just go all in, like I think Unitarians, there's the Lutheran Church, the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America. Yeah, the ELCA. They don't say that, hey, you can be gay, but you can't act on it, right? They'll say like, I'm a woman and my wife is here and I'm the pastor. Oh no. He hopes God forgives him. Yeah. Wow. That's so fucked. We had mad gay dudes and they were welcome, but it was always said that that they are not the one to make the decisions. Right. Well, again, I feel it's a cop out, right? Because what you're doing is you're afraid that you might be wrong. You read the Bible as homosexuality is a sin, and now I'm going to get to the let me tell you all something. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know when I say that church is a business, right? If I could have a business and it could be something that, let's say this storefront I just opened. Let's say, I don't want to take any profits. 100% of the profits are going to go to kids in Palestine. Let's just say, right? I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, let's say I did that. It would be a good church. It would be a good business. That's a business worth supporting. You know what I'm saying? But there's still things I gotta do to maintain this business. I still gotta I can't charge at cost because there's overheads, right? I gotta pay for the URL. I gotta pay for the Shopify. I gotta pay for, the link in bio thing. Like there's certain overheads that come with it for an online business. Imagine if I had an actual brick and mortar business, you know what I'm saying? And so there's certain factors that have to be in. So when I say church is a business, I'm not even talking about it like in a, fuck church sort of way. I'm talking about just as a fact. Now, we go from church as a business. We have to have so many members because if we don't have enough members, then we don't have enough tithe, which means we can't pay the pastor, which means you can't pay the rent or the lease on the land, and et cetera, et cetera. But then it goes past that, and then sometimes you have a mega church. And you can pay your pastors even more. And then now the pastor has a staff, and now we just need more people, and it just keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. So here is my extremely cynical take from a guy who has religious trauma and all of that. Lo Tigre!
Even if it's right next to it, it can't.
Cyber world.
Low TIGR.
Keep going. You only said TIGR. Man, she's getting lazy. See, we might have to find a replacement. Lo Tigre. And she looked at them E's and said, I don't even know what to do with that one. I'm not doing it. I always said, never trust a pastor that has a better car than you. Ooh, that's good. That's money right there. Wow, that's good. I like that a lot. Never trust a pastor who has a better car than you. Damn. 31 months. 31 months. That means I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm about to be doing this for 3 years. Oh man, Maneater is gonna hit Maneater. I think we're coming up on that. I think it was like, I'll give it a, Maneater's like, it's about that time, homie. You had 3 years to make this work. You need to go get yourself a job. Helicopter ain't helpful. Hell no. Hell no. No, but let me get to my point and then we will move on. My point is that anytime I come to a church that, hey, you know what? We don't care if you're gay. We do think it's a sin, but that's between you and God. You know what I'm saying? 3 years, 4 videos, streamed 6 times. That's true. You know, you can't count all the gaps. You know, like the channel's been alive for 3 years, but I ain't been on my game for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It's true. I gotta do the math. I gotta submit the paperwork to Maneater. I gotta show her the gray areas and be like, hey, I need, you know, what is it? I need to reclaim my time. Oh shit. That's what's up. Damn. All right. I'm gonna not look at chat for a second. Anytime I see a church that says, hey, you can be gay, it's not on us, and oh, you know, who am I to judge? Or, you know what? Be gay. Our pastor's gay. It's not a problem anymore. Not to us, because we read the Bible correctly. You know what I mean? Not like those people down the streets, those bigots. They're doing like any other business does. They're doing like how like Wendy's puts out some shit and it's like, you know, talking shit about somebody else because they're doing Black Lives Matter or something. So Wendy's is like, you know, we do Black Lives Matter, and you know, they come out with a Black Wendy on the logo for a month or some shit. Like, it's like, you figured out a way to up your membership. You know, people who are looking for religion. And you're gonna be the one to, I'm very cynical, and I really do believe that's what Pope Francis' job was, because the Catholic Church has nowhere near the amount of power or membership or money that they had, like, let's say, like in the 1960s or something like that. So they had to make a change. How? For what? To save people's souls? Yeah, they might tell you that. I'm gonna say to up that tithing, to up that offering plate. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if they did that though, for real? They're like, hey, in honor of Black History Month, Wendy's gonna be black for 28 days. Don't get too crazy. 28 days. We're gonna let her put on blackface. Like, would that be blackface? Oh my god. I feel like anytime Robo decides not to stream, Maneater should jump on the book reviews and bro, let me tell you all something. Okay, you know what? It's time for me to. I have to come clean about something. I want everyone here to know that every time I don't stream, Maneater's like, ooh, let's watch a movie. Ooh. Yeah, oh yeah, just stream tomorrow. Come here. I haven't seen you all day. Don't act like Maneater's gonna do shit to get me to stream, because she don't even really want me to stream that much. She'll be like, yeah, get in. Yeah, go on. Oh, I got the popcorn. I'll go. Hell no, that's not a lie. I told you to stream last night. Okay, but when I said I didn't even prepare anything, it's already too late. You're like, okay, let's go play Elder Scrolls Online. No, Baldur's Gate 3. I stand with me. Hashtag not my streamer. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. What happened? Man, I knew. Maneater is like, let me tell you something about Maneater. It's Maneater hour. Maneater's like, I want to do streaming. And I say, Bet, do you really want to do streaming? Yeah, I think that would be fun. Okay. Gotta get you a camera, right? You already have my last boom. You got a boom arm, you got a mic, you got a badass computer. We just gotta get you a camera. We'll get you set up. We need to get you an account. We'll get you, put some stuff on. And then she's like, this is what she does. She's like, exactly. This is exactly where I'm going. She's like, and she starts thinking about it. She's like, then I gotta put makeup on every day. I have to like wash my face, redo makeup if it's after work, and then I'm already tired after work, and then like I said, well, just do it on the weekend. Well, Sundays I don't like to do anything because I have to work on Mondays. So like Sunday I don't want to do anything. So I'm like, okay, then stream on Saturdays. Yeah, but strategy is like, well, sometimes I go out. Okay, you're not gonna stream then. Like, just say you're not gonna stream. Maneater, if you want channel art, call me. We'll collab and make fun of bro. Goddamn, hey, I just need. I don't think people know this is an option. Okay, I don't think people understand this is an option. You could be cool with Maneater and be cool with me. Like nobody has to talk shit about me. I mean. He said, let me stop talking shit. I haven't streamed all week. Amazon is the source. Oh, I just got myself a really nice webcam with a built-in ring light for $40. Really? I want that. You know what I want, though? I want that Elgato HD 4K. Oh, my God. Sketchy hit me with the, like, don't be so emotional, bro. I'm a little bitch. I'm just kidding. That Elgato is so nice. So nice. It's priced nicely, too, though. Elgato is like all about that. You get what you pay for shit right there. Eugenio Be. What's up? How you doing? He's like, he's an all beta boy. Oh, shit. Hey, speaking of betas. What's going on here? Can someone tell me what's going on here? First of all, what's going on here? What is this? I want to take this off. I wish I knew how to inspect and then I could just delete it like real quick. What is it? 11? F11? Can I do that? No, fuck you. Oh, no, not that one. What is 12, right? Yeah. And let me click that. Click that. Now
Support for WAMU's live.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to delete you. Just temporarily. What do I gotta delete to delete this one? I just want to delete this one. Oh, that one up there. No touch. What if I just delete that? Yeah. What happened? What's that? None? Delete. 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 I'm deleting this whole motherfucker. No, it didn't work. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. I'm radical. I'm Lenin. Marxists. That's what's up. Would it be okay? So would I be a bad friend if I drop a lurk? No. Give me the. Hey, do me a favor. Drop me a lurk on the YouTube side, and I'll forgive you. I need some views over on that. I need some time served. You know what I'm saying? All right. This dumbass, not you, Chris. Hegseth. Wait, isn't it his name? No, so right? Pete. Bet. Thank you, Cypher World. Thank you, Chris Cypher. How many times? Oh yeah, but yeah. See, there's your channel. See, she likes it, and if she sits here when she streams, and maybe we can get like a little Oh, we do have a Maneater. We have that thing. Remember when we first bought here? We bought that divider because we thought like people might be able to see into the room with the door open, but then it was like nobody could look in here anyway, and we got that divider in there. You could put a thing on it and could decorate it, put it behind this chair, zoom in the camera a little bit. That's actually an idea. That's actually an idea right there. I mean, not on my channel, but I'm saying like you could make your own channel and sit here. I'm playing. Yeah, my channel. Hegseth in hot water again, oversharing attack plans. But this time it may be worse. Embattled Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth pushed back Tuesday on the latest revelations that he shared military attack plans on his private phone with his wife, brother, and personal lawyer, none of whom have a clearance to know this information. If you remember, I said no one is texting war plans, Hegseth said on Fox and Friends. What was shared over Signal then and now was informal, unclassified coordinations for media coordination and other things. So, let me tell you all something. Let me tell you why he's full of shit. There is information, right, and media packets that you will give to the media, even on classified operations that have occurred, right? The military looks at it. They go through what information are we going to give to the media. I'm going to promise you. I promise you that 100% of the time, they are not before the operation occurs. There, and if it is, right, like it's because it's already obvious, like there's staging occur. Like Fallujah, like everybody knew Fallujah was gonna get hit. That's what they had to tell people to get the fuck out of Fallujah, and yada yada yada, right? Like Israel, just dump a bunch of fucking pamphlets and say, "Good luck," you know. But that's like for staging. But even then, they're not going to tell the news, and here's where we're going to be staging, and here's how many battalions we're going to be using, and here's how many fucking, here's the air support we're going to have, here's our indirect fire support we're going to. This motherfucker's talking about types of aircraft, takeoff times, types of munitions. Those are all fucking dumb, completely classified information. On a private phone, over Signal, to your wife, to your brother, because he's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. But the details he shared 2 hours before the airstrikes hit in Yemen almost certainly were classified, according to retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel Mick Wagner, who was a military lawyer for 17 years and deployed to 4 war zones. A launch of an attack, there's just no way, no how that an American military operation starting off is going to not be classified, for Lord's sake. Yeah, 100%. According to a U.S. official not authorized to speak publicly, after CENTCOM Commander General Eric Gorilla sent Hegseth details over secure communications about impending military operations on March 15th, Hegseth shared that information verbatim with 2 separate chat groups on Signal. One was made up of top Trump administration officials that inadvertently included journalist Jeffrey Goldberg, but the other chat included people with no clear reason for receiving the sensitive information. The last time he was wrongly using an insecure communications device, and he mistakenly thought he was speaking to only 2 security clearance holders. What does that have to do with anything? You're talking on Signal. You're not allowed to talk about that shit, even with people who have the proper clearance on Signal, an unclassified device. Here he is knowingly using an insecure communications device, yes, and he's knowingly giving classified information to people who are not security clearance holders. So really, it's more than a spill. It gets into sort of a willfulness that is typically prosecuted by the Department of Justice. May I remind you of the, I didn't pull him up, so the dude with the Brazilian name, the airman, who got sentenced for 15 years for sharing a map. For sharing a classified map on his Discord of Ukraine. 15 fucking years that dude is sitting in that prison. And this guy is just fucking, here's the takeoff times, here's the types of aircraft, here's the munitions, here's the locations, here's where we're striking, to his wife over a Signal. Look, I have Siri in my pocket. I have Alexa on my fucking kitchen counter. I have indoor security cameras that also have speakers on them. And sometimes Maneater fucking around will be like, you had a top secret clearance? I said, yeah. Tell me something. Tell me something. Tell me anything. And I'm like, no. And she's like, come on. You wouldn't tell me? Like, no one would know. Like, she's obviously fucking around, but she's like, I'm like, no. Like, I'm not even joking about it. Because everything about my fucking like they wouldn't even know. See? Like, fuck no. Hell no. I'll tell you, there is one time that I would spill a secret about top secret shit that I know. And it would have to be something so egregious that I know that I'm about to lose my pension, lose my disability, and I'm gonna be wanted by the United States for telling everybody. Like, it would have to be that, because that's literally what you're risking. You know what I mean? That's literally what you're risking. You're risking your freedom. This motherfucker had a static, printed out map, probably out of date, by the way, probably about a part of the operation that was already done. Thought it would be cool to show his friends on Discord, and he's sitting at 15 years, dishonorable discharge. This motherfucker, you can bet your fucking ass that 50 years from now, 40 years from now, he's gonna be one of those motherfuckers that are like, I was in the Air Force. I served in the Air Force. And he's like holding a sign on the freeway, and then like, that dude probably wasn't even a vet. They just, something, you know how many people lie? No, he was. And he wrecked his life. I'm not saying like he didn't do nothing wrong, but you know what I'm saying? And here's this bitch. Here's fucking Pete's Hegseth. Yeah, whatever. Listen to this shit. Here's how he reacts to it.
Mr. Secretary, how's the Easter egg roll, sir?
Hey, we're happy to be here at the Easter egg roll, I'll tell you that. Be with the family, beautiful day. And President Trump is changing the country.
What do you want to say, sir, about the signal chat controversy?
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again. And as they...
Hey, so do me a favor. Look at this, like what he's gonna say. He's gonna say all the same dumbass bullshit, but watch his kids in the back. Those, this one's his son. I think this one's his son. But watch their faces as he talks.
Peddle those lies. No one ever calls him on it. See, this is what the media does.
Yeah, look. That's his son. I'll be on his shoulder. Hold on. Watch his face. Hold on. Is he left monitor? Unlock. Check this shit out. That's his son's.
They peddle those lies. No one ever calls him on it. See, this is what the media does.
He walks in like, is Dad talking about this shit again? Oh, what a fucking idiot. Oh, shit.
They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me.
Look at it. Oh, my God. Like, hey, Dad, I don't think they're buying it. I don't think they're buying it, homie. Dad, just say you gotta go to poop.
Because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're...
He's like, this is fucking cringe.
We're fighting the fake news media.
Yeah, that's
this is
it
why
right
we're
there.
Fighting slash and burn Democrats.
That's what I said. I would have said, sir. So are you saying it's fake? Is that what you're trying to get at? Is that it was fake?
This is where we're fighting hoaxsters. This group, no. This group right here, full of
What's going on?
That peddle anonymous sources from leakers with access to grind, and then you put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know it, we know exactly what it is. So I'm really proud of what we're doing for the president, fighting hard across the board, and I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids. Thank you very much.
President, sir? Have you spoken with the president?
He's gonna
I
turn.
have spoken to the president, and we are going to continue fighting on the same page all the way.
DSB, deflect and evade. That's exactly right. For my job, I had to go through SEER, right? Survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. SERE, SEER. And one of the things that they teach you is there's a tactic that you do when you're getting at questions. There's a thing that they teach you how to do so you can avoid answering questions. And let me tell you all something. Those motherfuckers all do it. Every single time. I was in that training maybe 15 years ago, and I remember it. I remember getting slapped around, and I remember resistance techniques for interrogation resistance techniques and torture resistance techniques. They all do it. Oh, bet. Yeah. I just got the link. Elite X1. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's. Man, I'm gonna have to check that out. He said, "Guys, I already leaked." You know, it's like he's all like, "Oh my, are you guys still on that?" I don't care, bro. Who cares? Do you know who my boss is? And here's the truth. You know, I was talking to Maneater about this. This is. I'm gonna tell you all the simple truth. Pete Hegseth has one boss, one direct boss. He doesn't have anybody else in this entire fucking country that is in charge of him. Not even a little bit. It is him and the President of the United States of America. That's it. He's not a part of any like staff that there's a chief of staff that then goes to the president. Nope. It goes Secretary of Defense, Donald Trump. That's it. Guess who is in charge of like classification processes? That's the federal government. Guess who's at the top of those classification processes? And that's why he has the ability to just declassify whatever the fuck he wants, whenever the fuck he wants. The president. Now, normally, we don't have, we've always had evil pieces of shit in office, but not like really fucking stupid ones, right? So not only is he like a piece of shit, but he's also dumb as a box of rocks, right? And so you have this guy that everyone is talking about how he's going to go to prison, his this, and this is against the law, blah, blah, blah. Bro, his all Donald Trump has to say is like, no. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure he's already said that. There's some rumblings about how Pete Hegseth is up for getting replaced. That'd be dope if it happens. That'd be dope, but let's check this out. Let's see. Trump responds on second Hegseth signal leak. Let's see what Donald J. Trump has to say. Oh my God, dude. Why? Why? This is 2025. Get the right mic.
Using Signal to discuss those military plans. Are you bringing up Signal again? I thought an old one. Try finding something.
Are you bringing up Signal again?
Bringing up Signal again? I thought they gave that up 2 weeks ago.
There was a new report this weekend that he used it in a separate chat that included some family members.
It's all just the same old stuff from the media. That's an old one. Try finding something new.
Sir.
Yeah, that's his reply. Okay? So if anybody out there is holding their breath and like, ooh, he's about to get in trouble, I promise you he is not. I promise you. Notice how anytime someone gives an interview, they always give praise to the orange leader before they talk about whatever. Reminds me of people speaking in church and giving starting off by giving honor to God. Where is that? Oh, that reminds me of a video that I saw about giving praise. It was a biblical verse, and it was all of them giving praise to like, oh, I can't remember. I wonder if Orange will ever attempt martial law or something like that. Okay. Oh man, I'm so glad you brought that up. Rez, boss. You're a boss. Thank you so much. Good night, Maneater. I wanted to talk to y'all about the silliness I keep that I wanted to talk to y'all about how some of y'all look. Not y'all in chat, but just like some of us who hate Trump, right? People, if you are anti-Trump, you might have seen something online about martial law happening on April 20th. If you haven't, good. That means your algorithm is clean and normal. But I don't know how many times I have seen videos talking about, be careful, this is what's going to happen next because of this date and blah, blah, blah. You know how some of these people are starting to sound? Some of these people are starting to sound like QAnon. Like, we know we got blue MAGA, right? If you're blue MAGA, you're like, I'm happy the country's burning down because how dare you not vote for Harris, right? That's one. But now we're getting like blue anon. And I think it's part of that thing I was talking about last time where there's always that like that sliver of truth, right? That thing that's true, and then we kind of expand on it, and it's exciting, it's scary. And the video we saw it on had spooky music in the background. And by the way, I'm not saying this as somebody who's like, well, be more like me and don't fall for that shit. Nope. I fell for it. And when I say fall for it, I mean like I take it some percentage of serious. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, damn. That kind of makes sense. You got to catch yourself, right? Whenever I started seeing those videos about April 20th was the day, because check it out, he's only given the other countries this much time to get this done, and then watch what happens. They're not going to do it, which means the economy's going to crash again, and then he's going to declare a state of national emergency, and then he's going to, and it all set, you know, and that's why martial law is going to happen April 20th. And I was watching the video, and I was like, yeah, man, fuck. My daughter, she's like, do you think that's going to happen? I'm like, I don't know. That'd be crazy. And then I was like, wait a minute, wait. Stop. We did it with the assassination shooting. He probably shot himself. He probably hired somebody to shoot himself so he'd go up in the polls. And I'm like, I think the dude loves himself way too much to let somebody fucking shoot a bullet that close to his fucking head on purpose. You know, I just don't see it. Whenever we're out there and we are receiving information on the internet, I need you all to know that there are more people trying to farm clicks for a few extra dollars from Instagram or Twitter or wherever, TikTok. There are more people trying to get you to click their shit than there are people trying to give you information, right? In case you didn't know that, just for people out there who are scared, and this is the thing right here, it has nothing to do with being smart. You know what I mean? Like, I think that smart people can fall for this shit. I think otherwise wise, observant people can fall for this shit. And the reason is because we're right now at a heightened sense of emotion. I spend every day angry. I spend every day. I was scared the other day. Like when that dude in Florida, straight up born in the United States, had an American citizenship, and they still had him in custody for 4 fucking hours in an ICE detention center before letting him go. I'm like, shit is getting okay. Not that it's only bad when you do with the American citizens. Like it was bad from the get, right? But now it's getting closer and closer to my front door. And it's scary. And it's in these moments that we're angry, that we're sad, that we're afraid, that we can let our guard down for and fall for bullshit that we normally wouldn't fall for. Keep yourself steeled. Keep your mind guarded. And make sure that you are assessing things that look through them like let yourself calm down for a second and look at it from an objective lens. I saw a post on Instagram and it showed a giant vat with some like smoke coming up, like steam, and somebody hanging over it by their hands, right? And then somebody pushing them like a little swing arm, and then they dip them into the tub, and then up comes like maybe like a skeleton kind of thing or something. And I'm like, and they said Israelis burning Palestinians alive in acid. What? That's a burning. Why would they be doing that out like in the open? Why do those dudes on there not have any gas mask if they're standing over this giant vat of extremely corrosive liquid that's obviously gassing right now because there's steam coming off of it? Like, and then the comments, this is disgusting, Israel, and they, this, I cannot believe them, they're fucking so horrible. And which are real things. They're real, right? These are like, yes, Israel is bad. Israel is fucking killing tens of thousands of babies. But when you post fucking something that is such obviously full of, the best part, guess what sticker was on the outside of this giant vat that they were dipping Palestinians in? Guess what sticker was on the outside? Skull and crossbones. Like a fucking cartoon. Now, there are skull and crossbones signage for hazardous chemicals, but it's typically like, you could tell it's official. Like, this looked like like somebody drew skull and crossbones. Now, come the fuck on. Oh, hi, Maneater. Welcome back. Can I listen while I play Oblivion? You have Game Pass? Xbox Game Pass? Oh, did you? Yeah, you did have. You do have it. Nice. So yeah, just keep your head on a swivel, and make sure that you don't give these people oxygen, because I'm going to tell you all, it hurts the movement more than anything. Because you know what it's like? It's like when what's his name? Juicy Smollett, or whatever his name is. Like, how many black folks are the target of racism, assault, vandalism, right? How many black folks are yelled the N-word as somebody's driving by? The victim of hate crimes? One dude makes up a story. One out of tens of millions. One dude makes a story, and now it's, see? That's what they do. Israel fucking that vat. I did an image search, and I like searched for image, and then I found the debunking article on it. It was a theme park, really weird, by the way, a theme park in Bangkok that was like it was supposed to be like Israel doing this but they were all actors or something. I don't get it. I didn't look very far into it. I was like, what kind of fucking theme park is this? That's weird as fuck. But it wasn't real. It wasn't real. And it's shitty that people are out there trying to get clicks like that. I don't think Trump's going to do martial law. I think the United States of America is a frog in a boiling pot of water. And I think we have been on the path of destruction since 1776. The Boston Tea Party didn't happen for revolution. It happened for a number of things, including the disenfranchisement of the working class and the business class and the owning class exploiting that to start a war from against King George because they wanted to own and they wanted to take all the taxes. It was never about freedom or liberty or revolution. It was about money. And the disenfranchised people who suffered under King George continued to suffer under our founding fathers. Things didn't get big. They didn't get better. I don't think that Donald Trump is going to suddenly undo the government and, you know, have a coup and become like this unrecognizable entity. Like I said, I think we are all boiling frogs in a pot that's slowly coming to a boil. And if he does a third term, he's going to do a third term legally. Because because if they keep the Congress, if they keep the House and the Senate in 2026, then they'll pass a law. And the lower courts, he's already shown that he doesn't have to obey them. And this motherfucker is still in El Salvador. Dude, Garcia, still in El Salvador. The Supreme Court said, you need to facilitate getting him back. Another lower court said that he expects, what did he do? What has the administration done to try to get him back? Like, no. How about that? No. So either the Supreme Court rules that it's fine for him to run a third semester, run a third time, or they say no, it's not fine, and he goes, that's okay. The law's already passed. I have half the country on my side. And I'm doing it anyway. And people are like, okay, what do we do now? We've never had this done before. Like, what do we do? U.S. Marshals, right? That's what Blue Anon said. Blue Anon said that the U.S. Marshals would do it. You know what I've heard? I've heard the military is going to do it. If that is like peak Blue Anon, peak. Because if there was one thing that QAnon said repeatedly, was that there was going to be a military tribunal and that the military was going to come in and remove Biden, and watch, you're all going to see January 2nd. Watch what happens January 2nd. Oh, watch what happens March 26th. Just watch what happens. And it's always these states. It's very apocryphal. It's always very in line with how they think the world's going to end or when Jesus is going to come back, and he never does. And it's like, that's not how it's going to happen. Blue Anon thinks the military is going to come in and stop that. I need everybody to understand. If you've been in the military before, you know. If you're from a military family, you know. The military does one thing and one thing only. This is actually a good thing, actually, believe it or not. One thing that we learned our lesson from all the other coups is we established a system in the military to make it nearly impossible for some random general to take over the government, like you see in like Africa, Latin America, and other destabilized nations that that have been fucked over by Europe, by the West. And because of that, like decentralized, like command kind of deal, and the way that they move around officers, and they don't really do it. The military does one thing, and that is follow the orders of the officers and people appointed over them. Let's look up the military oath of enlistment. I'm going to show you all something. So I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies. Okay, so let's stop right there. How do you defend a constitution that you don't understand? So what version or what interpretation of the Constitution are you defending? The courts. How have the courts decided? So not you, not the soldier. So whatever the courts have decided, the Constitution, what it has said, that's what you're going to defend. People are like, I know what the Constitution says, and I swore to defend it. No, you swore to defend what the system says the Constitution says. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic, you know damn well that they didn't write that shit, meaning for them. They say that, right? So they talk about rising against a government, but they didn't. We know, you and I both know they didn't mean that shit for them. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And here it is, right here. Check this out. This is in the oath, right? This is what you swear in the military, and the officers have a very similar one that includes the shit here. And I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. That I will obey who? My conscience? My heart? My spirit? God? Is God? God says, so help me God, but I mean, we're swearing, but you're only, it is stripped, there's a part of your brain that is stripped away in basic training, and then they rebuild it, basic training, boot camp, whatever you want to call it. And one of the things that is in there is you will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the officers appointed over you. So help me God. Like, there is no part of the military that is ever going to march on the White House and remove the president because he's trying to do a third term. Every single officer could complain, every single officer, but as long as all the systems are in place, and the only thing is like people protesting in the streets, the court has said, hey, you can't do that, but Congress and the president, all other systems are like, no, this is what we're doing. And the military is going to be like, wait, like, military, can you help us? Who's the president right now? Well, it's still Trump until we can, fix this whole thing. Well, that's what I gotta. Sorry, I totally would help. Actually, matter of fact, I think it's kind of fucked up too. Yeah, it's messed up. I wouldn't do that. But see, I gotta follow the orders of the president and the officers appointed over me. There's a reason why the Secretary of Defense has to be a civilian, and if you are like General Mattis, if you retired too soon, you gotta get a waiver approved by Congress to become, because you don't want to be a military general who then becomes a Secretary of Defense, because then that coup might happen, right? So it has to be a civilian. So a civilian is in charge of the entire military, and that civilian is the Secretary of Defense and who reports to the president. the military is not going to save you. Ever. What's going on, Colin? What so how's it going? Everything is going perfect. Everything is fine. Nothing to see here. Everything's on fire. Everything's not okay, okay? Okay, Colin, it's not okay. Oh my god. I'm gonna read you all something. I'm sorry I had to do this to y'all. I'm very sorry, actually. So this is a real post by Kanye West. I went onto Twitter. I went to Kanye West's profile and I scrolled down the feed myself until I came to this post. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when I was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14. Tweet sent. That's exactly what I was going to say, Maneater. Yeah, that was part of what I was going to talk about. Ye is not okay. And I'm telling you right now, we have not seen anything yet. We have not seen anything yet. And I will tell you that all that shit he talks about, if I ever died, then they killed me. Those are, though I believe, just an opinion. I'm not an expert. I have no idea. But I believe that the idea of the commotion and conspiracy amongst the news and his friends that would come after he were to take his life would like, yeah, I mean, if I do it, I'm gonna say it wasn't me. I'm gonna say I was murdered. He is not well. One thing that kind of fucked me up about this was something that Maneater just said. When I shared this with her, she goes, that actually happens a lot. Now, she did say, now up to 14, that's wild. But maybe that's not as common. But like cousins doing that shit to each other consensually? Shit, it happens non-consensually, right? You know, the younger sibling or relative getting assaulted. But it happens consensually too. Quite a bit amongst children, apparently. Not that it's normal, right? That it whenever you see that, one of the things that that Maneater was telling me about was like when you see that sort of action, right? That sort of like deviance, then one of the things that they, you know, especially like social workers and law enforcement and then therapists that are like talking to the kid, they have to figure out what abuse might be happening in the home. Like what has happened to this child to have them behave like this, you know? So I just deleted my Reddit account again. Only made one to make a post about Bill Maher's takes on disability. Still was upset by a response I read before the guy said that some people don't want to try or go all in on medical treatments to provide them, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. That's a fucking, yeah. I'm glad you deleted it. Lot to process here. I thought we were gonna see the worst after the divorce and then he'd chill, but damn, I was wrong. So glad I never saw porn as a kid. My interactions with women were messed up with. Damn. I'm not saying it's normal, but it is. But it is PSB. What is PSB? Childhood PSB. You have to spell that out. Well, not all of us went to problematic sexual behavior. Yeah, not all of us went to fucking. Oh, no, that is a PSB. You know, if you read the latest journal of NCIPD, the second version though, like not the one that released in 2023. The 2024 one was redacted. You're just too smart for us. Oh, you want me to be back? No, I like you smart. That's why I married you. I have to make fun of you to make myself feel better. Kid Pie academic Maneater. So this here, if you don't know who it is Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has something to say about it. Nick Fuentes, friend of Kanye West, has something to say about it. I'm sure it's going to be totally fucking normal. I already know what he says. Because I had to download the video, put it into Adobe Premiere, and edit what he says, so that I can't get reported and taken down. That gives you any idea about what's coming next? This shit is. This dude was in the White House and had dinner with Donald Trump. I'm sorry, Mar-a-Lago. This dude went to go see our current president, Mar-a-Lago, and had dinner with Donald Trump. Okay, just hold that in your head.
I ride with Ye 100%. I like people that are real. I like real human beings. Fuck haters. Fuck posers. Fuck fakers. I fuck with the new song too. The new song is good. So I'm a fan. I'm a friend. I'm a fan. That's the GOAT. That's a real ass straight up. And I say that affectionately. That's a real ass and I love that man. So
in case maybe I didn't wait, what did he say? I left that last syllable in there for you. That way there is no
I'm a friend, I'm a fan. That's the GOAT. That's a real ass straight up. And I say that affectionately. That's a real ass and I love that man.
So he switches it up. I think he felt it, saying it into the camera like that. He switches it up. Still fucked. But the second time he comes in with the A. That first time, whole ass N-word, hard ER. I was like, what? On TikTok, on Twitter. Right. Went in with the hard R and then followed up with the soft A, like why would you switch it up? Why would you just stick with it? Stick the landing. Don't be a bitch. If you're gonna say it with your chest, keep going. You could tell he I guarantee you, he probably's like, I don't know if I should have said that. And then not for any other reason besides losing his show. Not for any kind of morality, not because he regrets it, but because he's like, man, was that shit? I hope the internet provider doesn't fucking shut me down for, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of shit he's thinking about. And so he switches it up to the A. Let me tell y'all something. Mark Zuckerberg is a whole ass piece of shit whose platform has been used that was used to in the Myanmar genocide He has been involved in misinformation campaigns. He has sold our data. He is a horrible, horrible person. But to compare, to say that because of that, then Threads and Twitter are the same. This video was on Twitter, and I only came across it because I was searching for the actual real post. That I didn't want it to be from a screenshot. I didn't want it to be from a news website that showed the shot. I wanted to go to Twitter for myself, and I had to put eyes on this shit to make sure it's real. And in me scrolling that video was on there. Do you know why it was on Twitter? Because Kanye West shared it and put a heart. He retweeted it and put a heart. Kanye West. That goes on TikTok, Twitter. It's totally fine. No problem. No problem. People can say whatever the fuck they want to say about freaking Mark Zuckerberg. You won't hear me defending him. But when we talk about platforms and the population and the environment of each platform, you're night and day. You're night and day. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Because as horrible as fucking Mark Zuckerberg is, you can't just fucking post shit with the hard ER out there with old fucking white supremacist fuckface out there just laughing about it. While Kanye West retweets it. Like, I am over it. I am so fucking over it. As far as I'm concerned, you go to the internet for no commentary walks on YouTube, which arguably restricts my desire to travel, which is necessarily good either, or occasionally Twitch or some excuse me, YouTube videos. Other than that, it's a cesspit. Even most. You know why though? Here's what I'm gonna say. I think that I've heard this a lot, by the way. I hear this a lot. I hear about how disgusting social media is, or how disgusting the internet is, or the internet was a mistake, or all this stuff. Here's my rebuttal. It's not the internet. It's not social media. It is humanity. It is the world. The only difference between right now, post-internet, and the world pre-internet is that we can't pretend it doesn't exist anymore. Humanity hasn't changed. The child sex slavery has been happening for thousands of years. Child sex slavery and abuse has been happening for thousands of years, and is still, and to this day, is a $1 billion industry. I want you to think about that for a second. This is the type of shit I'm venting right now. This is the type of shit I think about. Billions. Like, if you have a corporation that makes tens of millions of dollars, that corporation is doing pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. Tens of millions of dollars. If your corporation is making hundreds of billions of dollars, you are probably a conglomerate that has effectively a monopoly, right? You're like Disney. And when you look at the branch of Disney and what it owns, oh yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, it's a monopoly. You know, like what do they say? How many cereal companies? How many companies own all of the food sold in grocery stores? Like 4? Like 3 companies, something like that. Owns all the hundreds of brands that you think are out there. The illusion of choice. When we say, and those companies make hundreds of billions of dollars, child sex slavery is out there making money as if it were Apple and Disney. How many fucking people do you think are out there for there to be such a market in this that there are billions of dollars in the industry? How many children are in this? You can't even think about it. You have to stop. You have to just like, I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to go play video games. Don't make me think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Vile glory to the CCP. You don't want to think about it. Maneater, yeah. This is and I'm telling you right now, I didn't even think about this shit before I married Maneater. Now, of course, HIPAA and stuff like that, she doesn't tell me like, oh, this person, that, and da, 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 da. But she tells me about, like, generally, the kinds of things that she has seen in her job in a general sense. Mothers who have sold their kids 8 years old, 7 years old, 6 years old, to men in the neighborhood to come in and do things with their daughter or son for money. You know what I'm saying? Like think about this. I want you to think about this right now. I want you to think about you're in your house wherever you are right now. All right? I just say everybody play a game with me. All right? Let's do an imagination game. I want you to imagine you are in your house right now and you have fucking nuclear material or some shit. And you need to find somebody to sell this shit to now. Maybe you have a priceless painting. Who's gonna fucking buy that shit? You know, like no one's gonna want to buy that shit. You run around, hey, you want this nuclear material? You can make a bomb out of it. You can get energy. I don't know. There's gonna be some depleted uranium. Get that fucking shit out of here. I'm not trying to go to prison. I'm not right. But if you had a child, if you had a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old child, and you wanted to make some money, there are people out there in your neighborhood right now that are being like, okay, bet. So when we sit here and we talk about how disgusting the internet is and how it ruins stuff, it didn't fucking ruin anything but your ignorance to how fucking dark this world is. It didn't ruin anything besides the bliss that you were living in with your ignorance. We were living in. Something I hear a lot about people who hate Obama for the wrong reasons, is, oh, Obama brought in racism back because he started to talk about it. Think about that, right? Supposedly, Obama brought racism back because he decided to talk about it. Now, they're not saying that he created it. He's like, hey, like, we were fine. Of course, racism happens, but if you don't talk about it, most of us are happy. They wanted it. They wanted to be like old dude from The Matrix, right? Where he's like, I want this meat, blah, 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 blah. Me and Ernie were joking about that last week. We're like, put me back in. But we're not speaking metaphorically. In that joke, we're speaking like literally, not metaphorically. Like if I had to live in a fucking post-apocalyptic robot world or pretend like I was living back in Earth, put me back in Earth. I'm not trying to fucking live in that fucking shit. Eating gray goop for food, right? But metaphorically, we were all in the Matrix before the internet. Hey, do kids get essayed sometimes? Yeah, that's sad. It is. Sometimes, sometimes there's just weirdos out there. There's bad people out there. As if this idea that most people are good. This idea that it just, once in a blue moon, there might be a predator. Billions of dollar industry. to where the kind of places that Maneater works at, where she works at a literal, this is not just a therapy, like a therapeutic center, and sometimes, you know, like some of the, no, they have to have a whole ass fucking nonprofit that's literally for kids who are raped. A whole ass just separate industry, a sub industry. We're like, hey, we need a different place. We need like, we have a lot of this, like, you know, this was for veterans. Hey, that was for veterans from war. A lot of them. Okay, cool. This one specifically for kids who have been raped and trafficked, and they turn away people all the time. Sorry, we don't have room. You tell me most people are good when an entire fucking nonprofit business turns away people because there's just too many kids getting raped, and we gotta go over to the other one. They have more space down there, hopefully. Too many kids getting raped in a city, one city that doesn't even have over 1 million people in it. What do you think is happening in LA? What do you think is happening in New York City? What do you think is happening in fucking Beijing? You know? I don't give a fuck. All of these countries are fucking shit. Sorry, glory to the CCP guy. Person. Sorry. All right, let me catch up on chat. I'm sorry. I'm being a bad streamer. I've upset myself, and I was not looking at chat. Sorry. Did you say something a while back? Where's that Twitter had whitelisted? Absolutely. That was the straw for me. I have no idea how anybody's on Twitter right now. That was the straw for me. Like, you have a list that is literally, here's who can say the hard N-word. What? Okay, I'm out. Fuck this shit. Zuck don't even have that. Even a lot of the no commentary walk guys will follow the woman with the shorter skirt. God damn. Did humanity change is still happening? People treat children who have been sexually trafficked if people want to pretend. People who want to pretend it doesn't exist. I treat people who have been sexually trafficked. People want to pretend like it doesn't exist. That's right. Mao and Marx. Yeah. Actually, because think about it. If there wasn't a profit margin on sexual assault, yes, it would still happen. No, it would not be as accessible as it is today. It is absolutely about the profit margin that drives anything that can make them money, because wealth is all that matters to probably most human beings. I'd say. I don't fucking know. The anti-leftists will say shit like, under communism you don't have any choices. Meanwhile, the grocery store has 5 companies selling everything inside. Bingo. Bing fucking oh. I just rewatched an old video from the end of August 2001 of me and some kids playing outside a couple weeks before 9/11. It felt like, I feel like the world felt safe and everyone trusted each other back then. Maybe it was naivete. It was naivete. I was there with you. I was 20. I was 21 the month after the towers were hit. So technically I was 20, but my birthday's in September. So, oh wait, 9/11. I'm dumb. I was thinking August because that's when I came back from Saudi Arabia. So I was on a deployment to Saudi Arabia for Operation Southern Watch. I come back home from that deployment in August. The towers were hit 5 days after my birthday. Dude, you're radiating charisma. Wow, thank you. Thank you for that, honestly. Thank you. You were a kid too? Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I was 20. I still say I was a kid. The internet is exposed to human mind. Bingo. Do you think Econ 101 classes do a lot of damage? I personally love taking Econ 101 and think it laid the foundation for what little success I had. No, I think it's good to look, to understand like structures like supply and demand and stuff like that, I don't think is inherently bad. It's when you inject capitalism to the markets, right? I don't know if I'm a market socialist. I don't know that money is bad, right? And that's the part that keeps me from being a communist. And I think I just got to read more on it, because I don't think markets or money is bad. I think it's who owns the means of production, and capitalism. The process of capitalism is bad. So but Econ 101 is going to be based off of capitalism, right? And there's a reason for that. That's why every aspect of business school, if you get your MBA, if you take econ, it's going to be based off of like capitalism is just normal. It's how it's like air, you breathe it. You know, like, yeah, of course, capitalism. Okay, but what about socialism? Get the fuck out of the room. F. I tend to say it's always been this way, but the internet's put it under a microscope. Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I'll even clarify. I'll even go a little bit further. You know, just you know. Yes, it is showing humankind. I'm not walking that back. But one thing it did do that is bad, that is the internet's fault, is if there were like 1,000 fucking pedos across 4 states, they all get to meet in one chat room now. And that wasn't, they had to just be spread apart before. Now they're all in this one fucking place. So that's not good. And that is the internet's fault. Because the supposed anonymity of the internet makes people feel like they can safely say the bullshit they think, no matter how debased. Yep. And without consequence. Ironically, we need to get Robo we need to get Robo a soapbox graphic for when he's going off on the spin effects, right? Just have somebody else control it. I'm like, oh, yeah, let me spend these points, put that one on there. Ironically, I kind of want to get a PhD in finance if my house was better and that path would open. What would you do with it? But yeah, I originally studied engineering because it wasn't tied to any system. That's big brain shit right there. There was a time in my life that I thought I was big brained. I remember growing up thinking like I was really fucking smart. And it's because I was raised, everyone around me was like, man, you're fucking smart. It was always easy taking tests and things like that. And it turns out I just had ADHD and, you know, was good at taking tests under pressure. And I don't think I'm all that special. I don't think I was gifted. I think I was just a regular dude. Because then when I was presented with things like engineering and advanced math, I'm like, I don't know about all that. That's why I look at Star Trek as more fantasy than sci-fi. I just don't see the world moving past monetary greed. I don't either. Star Trek is communism. Like, you would get Star Trek with communism. And another reason why I don't really call myself a communist is because I don't see that working in a country with all different kinds of, you know, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see how a stateless, moneyless, classless people, it just sounds utopian to me. I love it, by the way. I love communists. I've marched with communists. There are communists within the DSA. I fucking love communists. Me saying I don't think I'm a communist has anything to do with my doubt that they are awesome people who want awesome things for the world. It has to do with like what I think is feasible in my mind. And I think like democratic socialism is feasible, but it has to do with like, because of my doubt of exactly like you said, Jon Stewart, I don't see us ever getting to Star Trek because I think people are mostly shit, which means I think the best we could probably think we can get to is like democratic socialism. I would love to get to communism. I think communism is like Star Trek. I was like, yeah, we're never gonna get there, you know, which is not, you know, Cuba is suffering today for a very specific reason. Ask Cubans how evil fucking Fidel Castro is and how you're not allowed to argue with them because my grandpa was da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay. All right. Ask Puerto Ricans every time the Green Party there, you know, gets ground, like starts gaining ground. Oh, you guys want to end up like Cuba. Like what we did to Cuba, because they went to like full on fucking you know, I don't know why there's not. You know how we have Maoism and Stalinism and you know Leninism. We need like a Fidel Castro. Is there a Fidel Castro school of communism? Because I know he wasn't fully on board with like USSR shit. But the only reason he was able to get away with talking to everyone about his libertarian beliefs and leaving pamphlets out and everything is because we had a union giving us job security and more freedom of speech. I had a conservative coworker who hated for going all communist. Yeah, all those episodes back in the day when they had like money in class and shit. Someone will clip that and say left face is a communist. I'd be okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't find anything wrong. Like, I don't find anything wrong with that. I'm not a communist because I think it's bad. I'm not a communist because I just can't imagine the future with communism. So it seems like my brain's like feels like it would feel exhausting fighting for something that I just do not believe can happen. And not because I think communism is not doable. I think human beings are just shit. You know? So I think we need incentives. I think human beings need incentives. And I think you can still have that under socialism. I hate capitalism. I just don't see how we can do it in communism. Look what happened to Yugoslavia. Is CCP guy person in here still? That'd have been. I'm assuming they know that. I would assume they're communists. I would love to chat. People don't want to understand that they have to recognize and separate corruption from whatever ism they think they don't like. Bingo. 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 You know, do you know how many fucking liberal Cubans are like, I can't believe my people, you know, got away from one dictator just to vote in another one. And I'm like, you're talking about like two ends of the spectrum here. You're talking about a dude who fucking overthrew a dictator, a fascist dictator. And then you got to, all right. So real quick. Looks like I'm feeling no system of government is really bad. Corruption is ruins. Yeah, I would disagree with regard to capitalism because of the very basis of capitalism. You know, that the way in which the market improves depends on exploitation and depends on a poverty class willing to be exploited, or else the whole system falls apart. So that's my, you know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know everything. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah, we are. Let's see, what time is it? Did my fucking thing change around? What's going on here? Oh, 2 hours. Wow. That was a short one. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of jarred me a little bit. So, it is Tuesday. It's not Monday. So that means we're not waiting 3 days, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. So I guess technically 2 days. We got Wednesdays tomorrow. And the day right after is Nerds of Culture. And this Nerds of Culture, I am fucking completely hyped about. I'm gonna have notes. I've been thinking about Sinners non-stop since leaving that theater. If you were here at the beginning, you already heard this, but for those who came in, I have to admit it, because I am nothing if I am not real. I am sincere. When that movie ended, I literally said to my son, yeah, Maneater. I said, yeah, that's a really fucking good movie. I did like it. And then I said, I don't know, but maybe like people are talking about like it's like the greatest thing, you know, since sliced bread. I'm like, I don't know if it was like that good, but it was pretty fucking good. And then on the drive home, it just kept like, oh man, that was pretty good. And actually, this representation, oh, this was the allegory. And then like ever since then, it's just been running through my mind, and I'm just like, it just grew, and I'm like sitting here like blown away by this fucking movie. Fucking love it. So if you want to hear myself and Ernie talk about that movie, make sure to not miss over on the channel Blurred Without Fear. if you're new here, if you're not one of the regulars, just know I stream, let's just call it twice a week. I stream my show, Left Face, on Mondays. Today was a makeup day. I didn't stream yesterday, and Thursdays. If I so choose, maybe a Friday will come around, but I'm just tired of saying I'm going to do it and I don't do it. So beginning of the week's pretty fair deal. Sinners, Colin, Sinners. If you haven't seen it, see it. You got to go see it. It's fucking amazing. It's a vampire movie. That's all I'll say about it. It's a vampire movie. So I've been looking forward to WrestleMania recap episode of yeah. You know, if you want to talk about WrestleMania, I'd be willing to bet Ernie would be willing to have that with you on Discord. But yeah, I won't be saying much about it because I don't really know anything about that yet. And given all this fucking Trump supporters they have and shit, like I'm like, man, if I can't bootleg it, I'm never gonna watch that shit because they will never get it done from me, never. Hopefully you watched it for free, Elite. I won't be able to watch that part of the show. My wife wants me to wait to watch Sinners with her. She has 2 weeks. Oh, she's gone. She comes back home in 2 weeks. If she don't bring that, I'm gonna see what that. He goes, WWE's MAGA as fuck for real. Yeah, good. That's me and UFC. I'm like, UFC will never see a dime from me. I will fucking bootleg that shit all day long. You know, that said, I think I'm gonna cut it here. Apologies for not getting to the brain rot, but I mean, Oblivion did come out today. Like, what do you want from me? You know what I'm saying? What do you want from me? Ooh, I know. Don't go anywhere. Real quick, I showed it at the beginning. Just in case you weren't here at the beginning, I want to show it really fast. If you all guys go, I got two storefronts. You know, one is better for the mobile phone, I guess. Whatever. I wasn't expecting to launch the full store because I'm still working on it. But if you guys go to leftface.tv/apparel. Okay, let's go in here. Let me just put that here. I should probably make a link for it. https://leftface.tv/apparel. Your boy has a storefront. Okay. That's the one that's like more like a link in bio, right? And you should be able to see the different shit I got on there. I made a few things last night. It started off with the homegrown shirt. Right? Started off with the homegrown shirt, Abolish ICE. I got a couple more here. Got this one, this Free the Global South shirt. Got 2 types of homegrown shirts. One with like light colors, with the black lettering, and then one with dark colors with the white lettering. It's all ethically sourced. It's from the EC collection of Applique. So all this is 100% organic cotton. Even the trucker. Oh no, I took off the trucker's hat. Like, people had a lot of good points. I had a red trucker's hat on here that was supposed to low key look like a MAGA hat, but in the same red threading, it says "fuck Trump," so you can wear a red hat, but people won't see it until you come up close. And then other people were like, "That's gonna, you know, why would you want to have people wear that if the people who can only read it are going to be within fighting range?" And yeah, I don't think people should be putting themselves in danger that way. Yada yada yada. And I'm like, all right, you're right. Let me take that down. But even the trucker had the mesh behind it was. Can you pay extra? Honestly, you're paying extra for it to be ethically sourced. So if I did it unethically, then it would be cheaper. But there's also just the regular old leftface.tv. If you head to leftface.tv, you will see the actual just storefront that's not the link in bio one. And I still wanna you know, I gotta laugh out Make America Great Britain again. That's what I was going for. I was going out of laughs, but people were like, I don't think people are going to be laughing very much, and we live in a dangerous time right now. But yeah, you can go to leftface.tv and buy from there. and then you can see our the collection. I don't know if it's. I want to work on like the flow of the webpage. Like I feel like this looks like I only have like 4 things to sell, but you actually gotta like look at the click other buttons and shit. So I got a beanie that says solidarity. I had this as resist, and these 3 shirts. So if y'all want to support, check it out. But yeah, ladies, gentlemen, and nimbies, that is the end of the show. I am Robo. This is Left Phase TV, and I want to thank you all for being here and showing your support in whatever way you showed it. Being here is support, believe it or not. I am live on both Twitch and YouTube, so if you're on one, you didn't know about the other, head over to the other one, give it a follow. Especially YouTube, I am trying to grow that a little bit. I will be live again with Ernie, the Blurred Without Fear, over on the YouTube channel Blurred Without Fear for Nerds of Culture on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. With that, make sure to take care of yourself while you're taking care of others, because you are of no good to anybody if you aren't healthy. So hydrate, get your sleep, and I will see you all Thursday. I'm out.